All right, let's talk about it. You've got that big presentation coming up, the one you know is important, and your ideas are solid, you definitely know your stuff, but there's that familiar knot in your stomach, right? That fear of standing up in front of everyone and speaking. Well, today, we're going to untie that knot. This is your guide to turning that anxiety into real, authentic, powerful confidence. Okay, let's dive in. You know, if that feeling sounds familiar, you're in some pretty excellent company. That quote, that wasn't some terrified student. That was a future Prime Minister of Great Britain. You know, Mark Twain said he felt like his mouth was full of cotton. William Jennings Bryan's knees literally knocked together. The point is, this feeling isn't a sign that you're broken or weak. It's a sign that you're human. So how do we get from that misery to a sense of mastery? We're going to follow a really clear roadmap based on some timeless wisdom from Dale Carnegie. First, we'll uncover the real secret of courage. Then we're going to walk through 3 core principles: preparing deeply, acting confident, and of course, practice. And finally, we'll put it all together to help you own your message and own that stage. Okay, so our very first step isn't to fight the fear, but to understand it. We have to reframe what that nervous energy actually is. Because look, if you see it as an enemy, you're always going to be on the defensive. But what if it's not an enemy at all? That flutter in your stomach, that racing heart, that's not weakness. That is your body giving you the energy you need to perform. It's getting keyed up for an important event. I mean, think about it. 2,000 years ago, the great orator Cicero said that all truly great speaking is characterized by nervousness. It shows you care. It shows you feel the responsibility. Our job isn't to get rid of it, but to harness it. So let's move to our first principle, and you'll see how this all builds. You know, real lasting confidence doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It's built brick by brick on a solid foundation. And that foundation? It's deep, thorough preparation. You just can't feel confident if you don't truly know what you're talking about. And this quote from Carnegie, this holds such a profound truth. The vast majority of the work and the victory over your fear, it happens before you ever step foot on that stage. If you put in the work here, the delivery will almost take care of itself. So what is real preparation then? I'll tell you what it's not. It is not memorizing a script word for word. That usually just makes you more nervous and sound robotic. Real prep is an internal process. It's about digging into your own mind and your own heart. It's gathering your personal thoughts, your convictions, your experiences, until you have a message that feels urgent, a message you genuinely want to share. And this right here, this is a brilliant roadmap for how to do it. Don't cram it all in the night before. Give yourself a week. Choose your topic early, then spend a few days just brooding over it. That's what Abraham Lincoln used to do. Let it simmer in your mind while you're driving, in the shower, on a walk. Jot down ideas as they come. Then, gather way more material than you'll ever use. This builds a huge reservoir of confidence. After that, you structure your main points, refine your message, and this is critical. You have to rehearse it out loud. Okay, so you're prepared, but right before you go on, that fear can still spike. And this brings us to our second principle, which is a really powerful psychological hack. You can actually use your body to change your mind. The concept is simple, but so powerful. This was actually Theodore Roosevelt's secret. He admitted he wasn't born daring. He trained himself by consistently acting as if he were not afraid. He forced himself to do the things he feared, and over time, the pretense became reality. The feeling of courage follows the action of courage. And here's the science behind it from the legendary psychologist William James. You can't just directly will yourself to feel confident. Our feelings just aren't fully under our conscious control. But you know what is? Our actions. So the key takeaway is this. You regulate your actions and you will indirectly regulate your feelings. Choose to act brave and you will start to feel brave. So here's your pre-speech checklist. In those moments right before you speak, don't huddle over your notes. Instead, take a full 30 seconds to just breathe deeply. Fill your lungs with oxygen. Stand tall, pull your shoulders back, keep your chest high. When they call your name, stride confidently to the front. And as you begin, look people directly in the eye. See them not as judges, but as people who genuinely need the information you have. That simple shift in perspective, it's transformative. Okay, we've reframed fear, we've used our body to build confidence. Now for the final, non-negotiable principle. This is the one thing that ties it all together and absolutely guarantees progress over time. It all comes down to this. You can read 100 books, you can watch 1,000 videos, But nothing, and I mean nothing, replaces actually doing it. Fear is born from uncertainty and not having a record of success. The only way to build that record is to get out there and speak. Every single time you do it, you lay another brick in your foundation of confidence. You know, Theodore Roosevelt had a great term for this: buck fever. It's that intense excitement a hunter gets the first time they see a deer. It's not about being timid. It's about a lack of nerve control in a high-stakes moment. And what's the only cure for it? Repetition. The more you speak, the more your nerves learn how to be steady under pressure. It simply becomes a habit. So in that last hour before you speak, run through this final checklist. Don't try to cram the whole speech. Just review your opening and your closing lines. Breathe. Take a moment to close your eyes and literally visualize yourself delivering the talk successfully, feeling calm and in control. Stand tall, and most importantly, shift your focus. Stop thinking about your fear and start thinking about your message and your audience. Remind yourself, I have done the work. I am prepared. And this brings us to the final and maybe the most powerful idea of all. Once you've laid all this groundwork with these principles, the ultimate antidote to stage fright is to just get out of your own head entirely. When you are so full of your topic, so passionate about your message, so genuinely eager to share something valuable with your listeners, you simply don't have time to be self-conscious. Your desire to communicate becomes stronger than your desire for self-protection. That passion, that zeal becomes the engine that drives your whole talk. This slide just perfectly illustrates the incredible transformation that happens. An experienced speaker once said that 2 minutes before he begins, he'd rather be whipped than start. But 2 minutes before he finishes, he'd rather be shot than stop. That initial fear just dissolves into this glow of satisfaction and pleasure. You move from dread to exhilaration, all because you had a message that was worth sharing. So don't let that fear silence you. It isn't a wall, it's a doorway. It's the energy you need to connect and to communicate something that truly matters. You have the tools now, you have the principles. Your fear is now your fuel. So the only question left is, what message are you ready to share?